Alright, hello, and welcome back to Dragon Warrior, the NES original. Switch over to that. And for a boss fight, and in this version of the game, you don't even have to go through. I mean, in most of the, especially the most recent HD, 2D HD remake, they make this required. But, yeah, in this original version, no. You can skip this cave. Well, actually, you need to go through this cave on the western side to get down to Remolder in that area. But anything over here on the eastern side of the cave, completely optional in this version of the game. But, oh well, let's do this anyways. Yeah, of course, with my levels and equipment, this is going to be, yeah, just a bit easy. But again, that's what I like. Hey, make a big deal in the chat, in the comments, if you will, but some people go out of their way to make games more difficult than they need to be. I'm just the exact polar opposite of that. So sue me. Some people say a game sucks if it's too easy. Again, I'm the exact polar opposite. I just can't get into brutally difficult games. I find I spend too much of my gameplay cursing the game out with every dirty word you could possibly imagine. Anyways, matter of personal opinion and personal gaming preference. Make a big deal about it in the comments if you will, but yeah. Anyways. Oh yeah? So the king does have a name. And here we have the introduction to that. And ever since, begs the question, why do they even bother having the option of yes or no? Because 9.9 times out of 10, the game don't move on until you say yes anyways. It's just the illusion of having a choice. When in reality, if you want to continue the gameplay, you do not. One middle finger, two middle fingers, and I'd give you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 if I had that many hands. Again, why even bother having the option when you really don't? So fucking stupid. And you can quote me on that. Anyways, now from here, you could walk around with her for the rest of the game. Even go as far as fighting Dragon Lord with her, which I think is kind of silly. But again, if that's your thing, knock yourself out, theoretically speaking. To each their own. I'm not here to judge how other people play their game. Yeah. But, personally, I think it's kind of silly. These are the same people that'll talk about how video games never make sense. And then you go doing that. Well, dude, of course, now the game isn't making sense on your own playthrough. How in the hell is he supposed to fight anybody if he's carrying her with both arms? Wink, 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 wink. Yeah. How's he fighting? He's holding on to her with. We've caused our own little reality dilemma here. Yeah. I mean, again, if that's your. I'm not here to judge how you play your games. That's up to you to decide. I'm just saying, if you're going to do that, then you really can't argue about video game logic not making any sense because you just made even less sense than it already has, which isn't saying much. Because again, how's he fighting if he's now carrying her? Didn't think that one through, did you? And again, like I said at the introduction to this video, yes, imagine that. A game where rescuing the princess is totally optional. Not enough that it's something that you're doing and there's still game left to be played. As usually in these old games where that was a thing, that was like the last thing you did, and it usually involved beating the end boss, Ganon and Zelda, Bowser and Mario. But here, this game ain't over yet. Still got several things I gotta do. I can't even, as of right now, I can't even make it to the final dungeon, much less the final boss deep within that dungeon. Okay, that didn't come out right. Go ahead and think perverse about that statement if you want, but that wasn't my intention. I wasn't trying to be a pervert with that, but so many things you could say in conversations can be deeply taken out of context by infantile thinkers. But anyways, point being, I can't even get into that dungeon, much less get all the way down to the final boss room. So yeah, I just rescued the princess and I still have game left to be played. Imagine that. Of course, in this game, it's, again, something you don't even have to do. I mean, yeah, it's, spoiler alert, hinted in the ending that she plays a part between games, this game to the next one, but oh, get out of the way. And you now have this item that tells you how, finally the game tells you how many experience points you need from one level to the next without coming here and talking to him to find that out. A little late for that kind of ability. Well, of course, I guess that depends on how early. I mean, most people do this a lot earlier, experience levels wise, than I am. That much is obvious, but I mean, I've seen people do this as early as experience level 9. Granted, they, in my opinion, abuse sleep spells for that, but to each their own. Oh yeah, okay, that's right. Since I'm still in Tantagel Castle, or Tantigo, however in the hell you pronounce, of course, according to the new remakes, it's Tantagel, so I guess Tantagel is the canon pronunciation for this place, but we're still within the castle walls, so the other part of that statement from her is kind of pointless. Yeah. In the last video or two, I got the Staff of Rain, and I got from that tower, or from that, well, will be a tower in other versions of the game, but here for now it's just a cave, a hole in the ground, northwest of here, or northeast of here rather, in the last video. And that from the basement back there, bottom left, bottom right corner of the castle. Yeah. Now, one more item is needed to combine those. But to get to that, got quite a trip to make. And I'm not going to get there anytime soon if I have to stop to fight. If I have to stop to fight random battles every 10 seconds, so I'm not worrying about raising levels. For now, I'm already at level 23. I mean, that should be good enough to go all the way to the end of the game. I mean, again, I've seen people fight Dragon Lord, the final boss, at level 21. I've seen it earlier than that, but yeah. Earliest I remember ever successfully fighting the Dragon Lord, the final boss of the game, myself, is level 20, so Reason being, heal more. You absolutely need that spell. Because otherwise, his damage does far more damage than your feeble heal bargain basement heal spell, or even herbs can begin to recover. You'd be fighting a losing battle. So you're definitely going to need the heal more spell. Even at max level 30, you're going to need to be able to use that at least a few times. So you have to be at least at level 17 to fight him, at least. But even then, do you have enough MP to use it enough times? Since in this original version of the game it takes 10 magic points each use. Granted, they lowered that down to 8 in most of the subsequent remakes, but even still 8, that's only 2 less, so that still ain't helping much. 2 points less. Now, by the way, this trip I just made, if I were playing one of the more modern remakes, where the return zoom spell works like it has ever since Part 3, where you can pretty much go back to any place you've already been once on the world map, I could have made this trip a lot quicker, just return back to Cantlin, and then from there, loop around west go west, head back south, looped around in kind of a C pattern from Cantlin to get over here. But actually, wait a minute. I think it's somebody in Cantlin that tells you to look 70 south and 40 west or something like that. Kind of like map coordinates for an item to be found there. God, I can't remember. It's been so long since I've actually had to look for that hint. I think it's somebody in Cantlin, town just north of here, that tells you that, I think. Again, it's been so long since I've had to look for that clue, I don't even remember where you find it. I've played this game so many, how would you know where that is? Well, that's the other possible use for the Gwaelin's love item. Yeah. So in other words, 17 steps west from here. But again, if you've played the game before and know where the location is, or in today's terminology, if you're using a guide, a screen cap image of the map, whatnot, and then therefore know where it is in that way, you don't need the Gwaelin's love item, so therefore the only need... So again, yes, in this original version of the game, rescuing the princess is totally 100% optional. Either way you slice it, there's no required reason to do so. Kind of weird, but yeah. Now, got that. No need to be here. And I better... No, not radiant. What am I... Okay, that made a lot of sense. Casting the brightness spell when I'm already outside. It's okay, laugh. I'm kind of laughing at myself inwardly. But anyways, as I was going to say, that kind of distracted me, not to try and make too many excuses there. I blundered that. But anyways, again, since I got to keep videos here to under 15 minutes, have to make my next trip next time. As always, thanks for watching. Take care and see ya. Bye.